I have JJ VWAP with us today. Hi, JJ. It's been a while.
Hey, coach, how are you? Sorry to hear that you're not feeling well.
Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit with these migraines, but the show must go on. I've always believed in that, so here I am. I'm glad to be able to talk to you and wish you a great 2024. What's
Yeah,
on the dock? What's on the docket for you, buddy?
oh man, it's been last year was a great year and this year is turning out to be okay too. Just learning how to trade this market and learning how to adapt as it changes, from day to day. And
W-
it's been a really, these markets with low supply are challenging to trade.
Okay.
And but we've
So,
we've come
so
up with
why don't you share your charts and so that people know what's really kind of like your major tool when you
sure.
talk about supply and you talk about demand, um, and you say things are always changing. What has
Mhm.
been the biggest change? You talk about lack of supply.
Definitely.
Um,
Lack of supply is huge in
okay,
these markets. And the thing is the rotations in these markets are massive because they're thin markets because the ranges when you have it's all speculative money in these markets right now. It's investment money doesn't trade in a 60-point range, 80-point range. It's hard for them to put a position together. You've traded size. So
yeah,
this
I've
stuff.
heard pros. I forgot the guy's name, but he's famous billionaire saying that in his view, the stock market's broken because it doesn't trade on the things that you were just talking about. It's
Yeah.
really just algo's trading price.
Well,
So
and yeah,
go ahead.
and the other thing is we changed the fundamental nature of the markets when we went from a commission-based revenue model in the US capital markets to an asset gathering-based revenue model. So now with low interest rates locking up, I mean, look at the positions that the large money managers have in Apple, Microsoft, Tesla. How are you going to sell 1 billion shares of Apple, even if you wanted to, when it trades less than 100 million shares a day? So these people have like you could imagine that stock having like 6 inches of dust on it in a crypt somewhere. It's not going anywhere. It's paid for in cash too. So the rest of the market is left to these large speculators who have insane amounts of money now. These guys who used to be ex Goldman prop, guys, like the guy like McGoldrick who just passed away last year, who left Goldman Sachs with, $70 million as a bonus and started his own fund. Those kind of people are trading these markets and it's all spec money. I mean, that's why you have these huge, massive rotations. I was telling people when we hit this high and we look below this 49.75, I said, if we fail and come back up, targets 50.24, which we
Here we
just
are.
hit. Yeah,
Yeah.
these markets just rotate. The last time we rotated did the same thing. And we're back to just simple market mechanics where, the bid follows the offer, right? So the bid follows the offer, then, we run out of buyers, put it on sale. As soon as you put it on sale, lower prices. That's like Black Friday at Walmart. When you open that door and those 70-inch TVs are $100, people just come running in for them, you know? And
Nice metaphor.
and it's so that's what's going on. That's the mechanics of the dip buying in an uptrend. Now this trend is built on massive short positions, true, but the thing is the way the system is, people really, really large investors don't sell stock positions to book profits now. They just take loans against them because they don't have
Well,
to
okay. I
gain.
guess Berkshire just
Oh,
filed their
yeah. Yeah, I heard.
and they did liquidate some Apple. They still hold a ton of it. And
Yeah.
maybe that's why they only sold a little bit is because they can't sell a lot of it.
Exactly, exactly. And it's good that they added some supply, because the way that stock keeps buying back stock and putting it back into treasury, it's going to be a private company soon. You know, so yeah, it's good. It's good that they sell some stock. We need we need liquidation is kind of the grease that helps price action. I've always found that, because I was always a liquidator of, large positions. So I've always noticed that when markets get too short and they climb too high, you get a lack of interest and the price action just grinds to a halt. So let's
Well,
hope
that's
this.
not happening. So is that going to happen to NVIDIA? Let's see. Do you have a chart like this for NVIDIA?
Nvidia, I
That would
yeah,
show like, no, okay, so you have
yeah.
supply at 929,
Nvidia, I've got
780.
yeah. Well, Nvidia, the cost basis is from 396 to 482. We're in distribution now, right?
Okay.
That's like if you go and look at these charts, this thing that Stadelmeyer and Dalton they teach is this balance, right? And then you balance times two and then times four to get targets. But the
Okay.
concept is the
Because I've
concept.
heard that 783 number a few weeks ago from a guy that, I like his work, Peter
Oh,
Goodburn, and that he said
okay.
we could get to 770, 780. We're like 5 minutes away
Yeah,
from that happening, right?
yeah, this thing is just, these stocks, they have a tight float. The float is owned by institutions and locked up. And then what happens is once that cost basis is established and a little demand comes in, it just, it just takes off. And then the other thing too is the concept of, you know, you'll have heard of this term when the street takes it. When the street takes a
Yeah.
stock, you don't want to be short because it's like a herd of water buffalo just stampeding and you're going
Yeah.
against the flow. And that's that SMCI too. I mean, look at this thing,
Yeah.
SMCI, because, and especially once these stocks, how it is, $500 to 750, right? The next jump is from 750 to 1,000, right? Tesla did it. Every large, Vanderbilt, that's what Vanderbilt did with Harlem Railroad when he tried to take it to 1,000 back in 1870, whatever, right? Same thing, right? Market never changes. It's just the
Nothing new under the sun, Solomon.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's the
Yeah.
delivery system of the market just becomes more efficient with computing and algos and stuff like that. But this is the cost basis on SMCI is down here 233 to 300, and there's
Yeah.
there's there's no overhanging supply up here to sell into to push the thing down. And a lot of people don't really think about that. I remember working on one deal where we did a direct mail program and we took the stock from $3 to $5, and then at $7, the guy who was running the deal, he didn't have enough paper cleared. You'll know what that means. The younger people won't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he didn't have enough paper in DTC, so he ran out of stock to sell, and it gapped from $7 to $15 in like 30 minutes. Because he couldn't.
Okay.
We're like, sell some stock, hold it down. He's like, I don't have any more. You took me out of my whole position.
Okay,
So yeah.
this creates a pretty good question because, look, parabolas have existed, like you said, from the
Mhm,
beginning of trading or investing,
mhm,
South Sea bubble,
mhm.
all of this tulip mania. What, in your view, sets the top and the end of a parabolic move? Are there any characteristics that you've noticed over time that
Uh,
would tell you that parabola, because we know once parabolic moves end, it's over, right?
yeah.
So,
I would
um,
I would say
go
some
ahead.
sort of a material change. Like when a company,
Fundamentals.
yeah, a material change, something that affects earnings or the business itself. Like, when a company files an 8K, it's a material change to the business, right? So
Okay.
just like that in trading, something with interest rates, accounting fraud. Here's the one thing that kind of makes me nervous is you look at some of these money managers that are holding trillions of dollars. God forbid anything happens to one of these guys because they are like, the amount of money that they hold and transact is just insane and really without much oversight.
Well, you mean if something happened to them, it would create a
Oh yeah,
forced liquidation?
I think so. That would be monumental.
I
But
mean,
I'm not
if
into
I was,
fear mongering. Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but it's just one of those things that I'm going like, oh, I hope that doesn't happen. But having said that, the clearing system in the U.S. is second to none. I mean, these markets get stretched and pulled like silly putty in all different directions, and the clearing works. I've got a buddy of mine who's a margin clerk at one of the big firms, and some days are pretty hairy, but it's a testament to how well the plumbing of the US capital markets are, that the clearing system works even when it gets stressed. It's
Well,
it's
it
quite
hasn't been stressed for quite some time. So
Yeah.
can we say that is the case if we had a material change,
Yeah,
um,
that would be
some type of exogenous event, and we don't
yeah,
have floor traders
yeah.
making markets, and it's all just machines?
That is tough because the machine doesn't, because one of my buddies used to be a specialist at SLKC on the floor. Yeah, and he's been around for 40 years and this guy's seen everything. And he knew like, oh, there's a big block of 2 million shares coming. Hang on, wait a minute. I know a guy 2 weeks ago who was looking for a block. Let's see if we can do a cross, right? And that
Yeah,
stabilizes the market. That doesn't really happen unless they have some sort of newfangled AI
yeah.
black pool that will do that. I don't know. I'm not privy to that information. But
Okay.
unless we have developed that kind of thing, then yeah, you've seen what happens when we go bid off. And we haven't done that in a while, but it is scary in electronic trading when we go bid off because, computers, they don't make mistakes and they don't have emotions. So the bids just fall and the book just clears like the red, like Moses parted the ocean. And that that's
So
that's that's the one thing
I
that's
know
kind
that you're mainly a SPU trader,
of.
but Barry is asking, do you see any sectors with potential material changes forthcoming?
Oh man, I really I'm not, I do read the
It's
journal and Bloomberg and everything, but I haven't sussed anything out yet.
okay.
There are a lot smarter people than me that would be able to answer that question because I'm solely, I'm a blue collar trader. Very price action orientated, make my daily bread and go home kind of thing. I read the rags and stuff like that, but I haven't been able to see anything yet.
One of the most undervalued sectors that you could just see by price would be miners. For
Oh yeah.
example, AG
Oh,
um, just took out or retested its COVID low. Okay, that's, you know, and when that low was being made in COVID, silver was 11, $12, not 22. And the
okay.
stock is testing the COVID low. See that
Yeah,
2020 low?
yeah, I see that right
So
here.
here we are. So, I mean, think about it. It's down here and silver's $10 higher
Yeah.
than it was before it
Now,
made the run after COVID.
now the one thing I've got to ask is, are they diluting this stock? Because this thing,
I don't know. And
right?
you're right.
'Cause
That's something.
as soon as I
Yeah.
look at this chart, the biggest thing that pops in my head is S8, which is stock-based compensation, and
Oh
doing
yeah.
cheap convertibles because mining companies go through money like poop through a goose, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
and it's so they're always, the stock is the only way that they can keep the lights on.
It's their Fed.
Hmm.
I know I've gotten paid in stock before when I did some IR work.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, always wanted the free trading, but
Yeah.
even if you have to wait a year on restricted, you still
I
get paid eventually if
hopefully
it's still trading.
I've got a couple of Rubbermaid bins full of 144
Yeah,
cents that
yeah, yeah. There, yeah, you could use it for wallpaper. Wallpaper.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. So, do you see any signs of the bull ending at all in
I I
S&Ps?
I don't see it yet. I don't
Yeah.
see it yet. And the underlying stocks aren't trading enough volume to make me nervous. I
Okay.
mean, Apple's trading, a couple of million shares, 40 million shares. I looked and I saw it only traded 100 million shares once every 3 months, and it's got 16 billion in the free float, right?
And they're
So,
doing buybacks.
and they're doing buybacks. So they're taking stock out of the float, out of DTC, right, and returning it to the treasury, right, which is effectively reducing the supply, right? So that's one of those things that I find it quite fascinating. I don't know how this is all going to end. I've never seen markets where people don't sell stuff because a market is made for people to bring in stuff at a wholesale price, mark it up, and sell it for a profit. And the speculators are doing it, but you know, that large investment money, the way they hold on to positions, for 20, 30 years is I've never seen that before. And I've never seen the accumulation of stock positions, to the degree that they are right now. And also the monopolization of market making and liquidity providing. Right. There's like 6, 7 firms now that control all the order flow coming into the US capital markets worldwide.
including dark pools.
Yeah, I don't know. I just heard that there was 2 big firms that are controlling what 60 or 70% of the order flow that come in. I mean, the monopoly in market making is insane these days. And the size of these firms. So it's a very interesting time in history if you're into the history of the market like I am. This is
Okay, so JJ, why don't you tell our viewers and attendees what you do and what you
Sure,
offer?
sure.
You have a room and you
Yeah,
work
we
with
do.
people.
We do. We have a room and it's microefutures.com. And it's just I'll just do a shameless plug for it here. What we do here is we teach people how to make money um, without drama, make our daily bread. It's very blue collar trading based on simple trades that are repeatable, that really watch for your risk. We're big believers in teaching people how to fish. So we don't call out levels and things like that. We teach them how the market works so they're trading, in the right direction, which is the hardest thing. We also teach them when not to trade. And
All
we
right,
teach,
that's a good one. When's a good time not to trade?
well, especially if you start seeing like, we use the 1 minute candle chart to tell us a lot of information. I'm not a traditional candle guy, but when you see like really, really tight candles, like you see here, this really,
Yeah,
I call it micro chop.
yeah.
That's a wholesaler's market, and that's when they're going to pick your pocket, you know. So we have trades that are based on what we call the look below and fail. So when the market looks below a level and fails, the rotation causes it to go up to the next level. So that's what we do. We use these balance zones and we just trade from level to level, in and out. In choppy markets, we advise people to take profits quickly. And because it takes time to learn how to hold a position and manage a position. It's kind of like riding a motorcycle. You can't lean it over very far when you first start out. You got to get comfortable in the trade. And my biggest thing is to teach people how not to lose money until they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's a
So
big thing.
do you have them stay on demos for a certain period of time?
To learn the software and how it works and to train their reflexes, and then we go to the micro and then get consistent on the micro e-mini and then up to
Okay.
the mini. And it's all
Okay. So
teaching yourself how to react, right?
yeah. So a micro mini 10 handle move is worth what?
It's a buck and a quarter a point. So 10 points is
Okay.
12. It's the same as
Okay.
as um, you know,
Right.
the mini, except divided by 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a real good in the middle way to
It,
trade because you really, can't get blown out with too much
yeah.
leverage. Yeah.
Yeah. And we
What
recommend
size account do you, even though it's
oh,
small, do you
I
still think, I mean,
sorry.
when you tell people or they ask you, JJ,
Oh,
what size account should I trade micros with?
just start small. Put they have like a lot of these good firms with they give good margin. Out of Chicago, you can trade for $50 margin on one micro during the day. So, just start out, put maybe $500 in there. You're not going to make money at first. You're going to have to learn your craft like anything else. The other good thing are those funded trader programs where you pay $50 a month and you trade a $3,000 account. And that enforces discipline, right? So there's lots of options in futures. And I like futures because there's none of this borrowing to short and all this stuff and
Yeah,
and
it's
PDT
clean.
rule. Yeah, it's clean, it's in and out. The only problem is, the symbols are a little messed up compared to equities. But other than that, and rollover can be a pain in the butt the first couple of times. But other than that, it's so much easier for a new trader to learn that one, first learn that one fundamental setup that pays your phone bill and your rent, and then build on that.
Any setups today?
Today, right now, I'm looking to see this 5024. I want to see what that does in RTH and the overnight low. Also, 5011 is a big thing for me. What I'm going to do is I just trade the setups that the chart, like I'll just wait. Like when the
Yeah.
market drops below one of my levels and comes back up, I go long up to the next level, then take a break. That's why I call it blue collar trading. We like to make, 2 to 3 points on a couple of contracts, do that 2, 3 times a day. And once you start giving back more than 10, 15% of your daily gains, you just step away.
Okay. All right. That's old school. Like
Yeah,
it.
well, I was trained by really cheap old guys. So,
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, good. You went to the Miser Trading Academy.
oh yeah, my boss was worth 600 million bucks and took the bus to work.
Yeah. Okay. He had the first dollar he ever made.
Oh yeah, he is,
Uh,
God bless him. He was the best. He made us pay for coffee, no matter how much
yeah.
commission you made him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, God, you certainly could find uh, many characters in
Um,
this industry. And you know what,
definitely.
JJ? You and I are two of them.
Yeah, definitely.
So nice talking to you, buddy. I hope you and your people have a great 2024 and
Thank
that
you, Coach.
that you keep churning out people and giving them the rules so they don't make that one big mistake because it's a one mistake business and I've made it more than once. So,
Yeah, we've
uh,
all been in there, and
yeah,
I hate seeing people get hurt. So
yeah.
thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And
All right,
yeah,
buddy. Well, we'll talk again in the spring.
sounds great. Have a good
All
one.
right. And you could find JJ on X at VWAP Trader. Right, buddy?
Yeah, VWAP Trader One.
One. Okay.
Yep.
VWAP Trader One. And I hope you guys enjoyed JJ. If you're a beginner, it could be a good place for you to consider starting. And that's going to be a wrap for me. I'll see everyone tomorrow for TGIF and could join the team in 20 minutes for the morning edge. And thank you, everyone, for your well wishes. And um, yeah, uh, live to trade another day, live to have another migraine in the afternoon. So I've been through this before. Okay, so have a good day, everyone. Good hunting. I still think the highs in the S&Ps and in the Dow, and I think we'll see 4640 sometime by April. So good hunting, and I'll see everyone tomorrow. Oh yeah, count your blessings, not just your pips.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with Forex Analytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.